Well, hi everyone, it's Jane at BlessedVet08, and I'm bringing you a really a quick and simple design team project from SaCrafters. Normally the ones I do have a lot of pieces that are from her store and that sort of thing, but this is just kind of a simple ornament project, and I wanted to use this. She actually was very kind and gave me this ornament for free, just as a gift, with my stuff that I purchased from her, a few things. She always sends me so many extra things. I think I have every single thing in her store. She's been so generous and so kind, and I wanted to make sure and use this before Christmas was over and show you guys. This is, if you go to buy one in her store, which if you are here in the States, she gets things shipped out right away, like the same day or the next day. I mean, very, very quickly she gets things shipped out. So if you were to order, you know, early here in the week, you would have it probably by the end of the week or so. I mean, she's just that quick, unless she would run into a problem, but typically she's got on top of it. These are also made out of MDF wood, so you would still have time, my point is, to make a few ornaments if you wanted. And these are great little gifts. I mean, really good gifts. I mean, you see what I've done here, it's even a better gift. So it's the $2.29 for one, and the way that they're made, I've covered it up with lace here, but they're like printer tray ones, where it's got the 3 layers. So you have options with this. You can put one, you can stack one on one side and 2 on the other, and actually put something on the back. Or you can have it be one-sided and have it be deeper, where you can make it like a shadow box and put stuff in it. So you have all kinds of choices with the 3 layers. It's really quite nice. And because yeah, I don't think, if I pull this back a little bit, you can see a close-up here, you can kind of see a little bit. There's like 1 layer and then the second layer there, so there's 3 layers to them. You can kind of see there. So really, like I said, you have options with them. They're really darling. And I just decided I was going to make it a one-sided ornament for my tree. But what was kind of unique about this, and I've seen other people do it, so it's not unique in that nobody's done it, but what makes this ornament special to me is that I did this for super cheap. And not just because this was given to me, but from what I used inside to do it. What I did was, this is a Christmas card that I actually received this year in the mail and if you watched my process videos, and I know that some people don't, they watch the finished ones, but I talked about the person who gives us these cards each year. It's really kind of almost like a joke, you know, amongst friends and stuff. He's a friend of my husband's, who they grew up together. In fact, they were next door neighbors. They were, you know, little boys who played together since they were 3 years old. So they've grown up together, like I said, living in the houses next door. And he is like super cheap, and he is proud of it. I mean, to him, it's like a challenge as to how cheap he can be. So it's not like if we talk about him being cheap. If you talk about him being cheap, like I am on here, he would be really proud that I have noticed. Because he's proud of it. So anyway, each year he sends like the cheapest cards he can find, and we always get them first. And it's just, you never know what you're going to get. We're always surprised he actually sends them, but he does work for the Postal Service, so we're not really sure. Maybe, you know, he gets a deal with postage or something. So anyway, this was the cheap card of the year, and I looked at it, and my husband just laid it flat down on the little hutch we have in the buffet in the dining room, where we kind of stand cards up there usually. But this one, he was just like, he just laid it down. And I kept walking by it, and I kept thinking, you know, this card has potential. There might be something to do with it. It kind of had a vintage look to it, and it's like, it's not such a bad card. You know, like I said, there's something, I think I can make this card look good, and repurpose this kind of ugly duckling cheap card. And so anyway, we ended up with like 2 that were like that. Of course, his, which he tries hard to give us each year. And then I also ended up with this card. And this one, you know, no sentimental value or anything with this one. It's from our trash man. And now I think it is so thoughtful. Every year we get a card from our trash man. They just tape it to the trash can. It's in an envelope, and they tape it to the lid of our trash can every year. And I think that's really actually a very nice customer service gesture. And so here it is. So I thought about using it. In fact, I drew a circle around it to kind of see what I would end up with inside the card or inside the ornament if I used it. And if I had another ornament, I'd have made one, because I think it's really, really cute, but I didn't have a second ornament. But what a great way to repurpose these cards. And, you know, just kind of like I said, cheap ugly duckling type cards, you can repurpose them and end up making something that's actually really pretty and would make, like I said, a nice gift or be really pretty on your tree. Now, the other thing you guys may or may not know is that my tree is not at all a representation of me. Not even a little bit. There's not one ornament on that tree that has anything to do with me, except for, and we're a failure at this too, we started in 2008 getting ornaments where they put your name on it. It's like a couple, like they're, you know, at the mall, and they just write your name on it, and it has the year. We did it 2008, 2009. We forgot in 2010. 2011 we went to do it again, and we had them do two of them, one for 2010 and 2011. We forgot in 2012, and we've given up in 2013. So that's it. And the rest of the ornaments are things like the Pink Panther in a fishing boat. Of course, we have the lamp leg from A Christmas Story. We have the fragile box from A Christmas Story. We have St. Louis Blues hockey. We have ornaments for when the St. Louis Cardinals were in the World Series. We have random fishing ones. We have the Three Stooges, three different Three Stooges ornaments. So this is my tree. I mean, it's in my living room because it's the only place for room. And I look at it and I just can't warm up to it. I mean, it's just not my tree. It's all his ornaments he collected over his life. Now, having said that, what am I going to do? They're his ornaments he collected all over his life. Tell him that they're trash and he's got to put them in the basement, and, you know, that tree's moving to the basement. I mean, he's proud of them. So here I am with this tree and those ornaments, and I don't want to say anything. So I decided I would do something and put this on the tree. So I happen to really like this, even though it's a repurposed cheap card. And the way that I did it, of course, logical, I just cut it out, I glued it in here, and I had painted these outside, and I crackled these. The outside, I used antique linen and vintage photo from the Tim Holtz Distress Paint collection. And I use the Elmer's glue technique. So if you're interested in how I did the crackle, you can go out and look at my process videos. I also crackled the top layer of here. So you can kind of see the lace is just kind of curling around it, but it's crackled around here as well. And I get back in the center. I have it zoomed in, and then I forget where I need to be. But then what I did was I thought was kind of unique. After I got it all glued together, and by the way, before I glued it together, I used a UV light, and I used this stuff right here. It's really meant for jewelry more, I think, but it does work on wood. And it's a clear gloss that you use with the UV light, and I really, really like how it turned out. So I used that, and I ran the bottom of the ornament, I set it in the UV light and got this great gloss because I wanted it real shiny, like an ornament would be, like a shiny ball, you know. And then I also did that with the top frame. And then I took glue and I went around inside here and I put gold tinsel glitter. And then I went around with a little more glue again, and I used those little gold balls, or not gold, like little, not gold balls, but little tiny beads that don't have holes in them, you know, those little micro beads. And I put those around inside there, and then just shook out the excess. And then I took this stuff again, and I went like real heavy along the edges, and then filled this area with it. And if you're interested in, you know, go take a look on the process videos, because I show how I used my lighter to get rid of bubbles and stuff like that. It's just kind of interesting. I learned that from Tutu Amy. And So, and she does this too, Amy. She does this with the old, she's really big into vintage cards and using them and repurposing them. And so she's done this as well. So I got some of my inspiration from the fact that she's done this, but a lot of my inspiration from looking at the cards sitting on the buffet going, there's got to be a better way. So anyway, you can check out her channel. It's like Tootoo Amy. And she's got some really nice videos out there on her channel. And she also had done some design work for SaCrafters as well. In fact, that's how I got to know her. And anyway, after I got done with it, I thought this was a really pretty lace to put around it because it has some like, it's just kind of reminded me of like kind of snow and wintry. And then, because it's got like fibers, that like come through it and so forth. So I put that around it. And then I had some lace in my stash and some fibers and made a bow and a little hanger for it. And then I had these flowers. These are actually from Tresor Deluxe, and I chose to use them because they're gold tipped like that, and it matched the gold that I used inside there. And so I thought that, just kind of coordinated really well with it and made for a pretty ornament. So I have some pictures right after the video here, and you can see it even hanging on my tree. Try not to look. There are red balls on the tree too, red ball ornaments, but other than that, it's all pretty manly looking. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it inspired you to give some of these a try, because like I said, they make great little gifts. And you could even, put little things in here or something like that if you wanted. I just really wanted the card and the glitter and stuff like that. I wanted to do something first off. Like I said, I wanted to use this before it was too late for anyone to order any, since Saw had been so kind to give me one. And I also wanted to I needed to do kind of a simple project. And I'm gonna this will be the last time I actually mention Tupelo, but I wanted to share the good news that he's doing really, really well. And because like a lot of people have been asking about him and concerned about him, and we had not been getting good night's sleeps here or anything, and I was just so tired yesterday. Quite honestly, I wasn't really feeling up to doing a project at all, but I wanted to craft, and just because it is an escape for me and it makes me feel good to craft. And I thought, well, I'll find something that's not real complicated, and so this is what I chose to do, so I could at least do something productive. But the good news is last night we slept, everybody, the whole night through, dog, everybody, and he has not slept the whole night through in a long while. And he slept the whole night through, and I'm telling you, he is the old Tupelo that we know and love. This morning, he was his old self again. He got up, went outside, he went to the bathroom like everything was normal. He walked his territory like he used to, and he came in, and he was just like, he had his normal morning medicine and his antibiotic. And then when I was blow drying my hair and getting ready, like when he wants to do something, and he hasn't been for a walk, he hasn't been out in the car, he hasn't been anywhere because we've been keeping him in where it's warm, other than just to go to the bathroom because he was coughing and stuff. And he hasn't been wanting to go anywhere, and he's just been laying down. Well, this morning, while I was drying my hair, he started barking because he wanted to go somewhere, and that's his indication to let me know he needs a walk, or he needs to go out in the car, or he needs to do something. So he was barking and barking, like, hurry up and get finished, because he knows that's the last thing I do. And so he wanted to be the next thing on my list. Once I was done with showering and doing my hair and everything, he wanted to be next. And so he was all over it. And so, you guys, I took him to the Highbrow Dog Bakery. And so I wanted to go there anyway, because I wanted to get him a new bone for Christmas. And so he got a bunch of treats and stuff, because they're really like made from good ingredients there and that. And he has not been eating like normal. He's lost, you guys, you wouldn't believe it. If you touched him, oh my God, he's lost like several pounds, like probably 4 or 5 pounds, which is huge on him because he's so bony anyway. And So I got some food samples for him that are a different flavor, and he thinks those are treats, even though it's just his same dog food, but in a different flavor. And I sprinkled some of that on his food, and he just like scarfed through his food. And so our old buddy's back. So just want to let you guys know that, and thank you for all the concern you guys had for him, and all the comments that I had asking about him. I even had somebody who thought maybe he'd been diagnosed wrong. To throw the idea out there, for me to think about just in case, just something else to consider. I mean, just people were really caring, and I just can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I know he's a dog, but he's the love of our life over here, and he's just a sweetheart. And I did have some people ask if I would record his Christmas morning, and him opening all his presents, which are 3. It's not a lot. But I will record his Christmas morning so you guys can see him, those who are interested. And anyway, I just want to thank you again. But I'm going to dig into some bigger stuff here. I'm going to start on a mini album, and I'm going to start on another, I'm going to find a good size project for Saw Store to do. And I have plenty of things to work on for design team projects. And so I'm going to do a couple things at the same time, because the mini album, even though I'm going to use stuff of hers, I don't really look at that as so much a design team project. It's kind of like a bonus design team project, I guess. So anyway, I don't want to keep rambling, but I did want to update you guys and thank you all so very much. So, and I hope you'll go out to her store, take a look. She's been making all kinds of little things to put in shadow boxes. She's been making shadow boxes. She's made things that are little that would fit in here. For instance, like tiny picket fence, where you could do like a little scene and put a little picket fence in here. And even a little bicycle. I mean, she's made some really cute things that would even fit in these ornaments. So, and they're like $1 or $1.29, very inexpensive. So you could put together the ornament and some little wood items to put inside, and your own personal touches for, a few dollars, and have some quick last minute gifts. I mean, it's not too late to get them, unless you live outside of the USA, and then it's going to be a little late for, for this Christmas. I mean, obviously it doesn't hurt to make things ahead of time, but anyway, I hope this has inspired you to do some crafting, and inspired you to go out and look and see what she has in her store, and I will see you all with the next project. Thanks, bye.